Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Flynn, and I'm here with
Scott Lang,
and we are the Band Dads. Here to bring you a podcast about something that we care very dearly about, which is music education and band.
Some of you are here because you want to learn about all things band. Some of you are here because you want to see a train wreck, and the answer is yes to both of those. We don't care why you're here. We're going to answer all the questions. We're going to say the things you're thinking. We're going to debunk all the myths.
Yep. This is the Band Dads Podcast.
The podcast by and for confused band parents.
I said the tagline. Hey everyone, Band Dad Chris Flynn here with a bit of a special feature for you all this week that we're going to call the Tuesday Teaser. First, Scott and I would like to humbly thank you all for the absolutely incredible reception that the Band Dads Podcast has received so far. As of today, we've logged listeners in over 300 cities across the country. Seriously, 300. Now, even extra icing on the cake, we've actually also logged some international listeners in Canada, Germany, and even Japan. We literally couldn't be more excited about the success of the launch of this podcast, especially because the topic of music education and band just means so much to us. We know you all feel the same. Please keep helping us spread the word and let people know about this podcast so we can keep growing this band family even larger and really have an impact on both retaining kids in band programs as well as trying to grow them even larger. Would you agree on how profound the reception of us band dads has been so far, Scott?
Thanks, Chris. And I couldn't agree more. The amount of feedback and response that we've gotten from just the first week of the Band Dad podcast has been overwhelming. And it's not just positive responses. We've gotten questions too. I want to share one from Rebecca. Rebecca wrote, a little background. My daughter's in the 8th grade and plays the French horn. Her band teacher has told me that she is way advanced in her playing and has the ability to get scholarships for college with her talent. She's in honors band, made the all-county band, and is in marching band as we start in the 8th grade. My question is, what's the correct way of teaching music, and how do I know if my district is doing it correct? My concern is she's being told that she can go far with this. But what if they're teaching her wrong and she gets to college and she's behind or not comparable with her college counterpart? Well, first of all, Rebecca, congratulations that your daughter is so successful. Please write us back and tell us how you did it so I can get my kids to be as successful as your kids. Your concern is real, and it references a comment I made in an earlier podcast in which I said 40% of America was teaching music wrong. Now, let me clarify that. When I referenced the wrong way to teach music, I meant that teaching someone every third day is suboptimal compared to 5 days a week. I meant that their child was not learning music wrong, but it was structured wrong. In other words, we do math every day, don't we? We do English and science every day. Not because it's the right way to teach science, it's the right way to teach every subject. We use superimposed and pull-up programs. And if you remember, that's a fancy way of saying it's not structured on a daily schedule and the kids are pulled out of class to make it easier for grade level teachers. In other words, scheduling music is not about music, it's about making other curricula better. It's more of an afterthought in the scheduling process. Now, regardless of how we're teaching music, what's most important is who is teaching your child music. Regardless of the schedule, your child is still being taught by a caring and experienced music educator. They will adapt to whatever circumstances are and make it work. Put them in a cafetorium, they'll figure it out. Put them in a hurricane, they'll make it happen. They'll sing songs about water. Take them and place them with no working instruments, they'll sing. It's the who more than the how that matters when teaching music or any other subject. Most importantly, they have identified your child as having a talent that should be nurtured through lesson. They are uniquely qualified to make this assessment. So I would listen to them and I'd get some lessons. Besides, the French horn is awesome. In fact, frankly, it's the instrument I would play if I could go back and choose an instrument other than percussion. Well, I hope this answers your question, Rebecca, and I hope that you'll all keep the feedback and questions coming at feedback@thebanddadspodcast.com, or you can hit us up on all the normal social media channels. Just search out Band Dads Podcast and we'll show up. Now, if you send us a question, please let us know if you're comfortable with us using the question on air or whether you want to keep it private. And know that no matter what, we will respond immediately in person, but may take a week or two to have it posted on the show or one of the teaser episodes. Well, that concludes our question period for now. I'm going to toss it back to you, Chris. Take it away.
Awesome sauce, Scott. Thank you. And for Rebecca, thank you again for asking a very valid follow-up question in regards to the fact that 40% of the country teaches music incorrectly, as reviewed in episode 2. If there's anyone out there hearing this that has not yet listened to those first 2 episodes, we invite you to check them out. We want you to listen, hear the content, and see why we're getting so many 5-star feedbacks consistently on both Apple Podcasts and Spotify. While we're at it, I do also want to take a moment to shout out and thank Kendra from Oklahoma City and Tanya from Sioux Falls for sending in comments that we're so proud of that we posted them on both our website and our social media channels. We have a function called Fan Mail that makes it super easy to send feedback to us. Under the description for each episode, you're going to see a link that says, "Send us a text." If you click that link, it opens up your text app, your messaging app on your phone, so you can literally just send us a message right there on your phone. If you want to include your name so we can recognize you, we'd love that, but it's definitely not required. The location we receive gets tagged by your area code from your text message, so we already know what part of the country you're from. As Scott mentioned, the other means to send us questions, feedback, or anything else you'd really like to is email. Our email address is feedback@banddadspodcast.com. Maybe if we get enough questions, we could start a new feature like the Banddads Mailbag, like Scott did today. Nothing would make us happier than to engage in more conversations with all of you, our wonderful audience. So the other reason I dropped this mini feature for you today is to give you a sneak peek at our 3rd episode called Do You Hear What I Hear?, in which Scott claims to be able to train me into a certified marching band judge. It doesn't drop until Monday, March 3rd, but we know there's a lot of anticipation for this next episode, so we want to give you a bit of a morsel to tie you over until then. We are very, very proud of the content in episode 3 and believe there is so much value that will empower band parents. Whether you're brand new to marching or you have some experience, we believe that what we provide here in episode 3 will help you see the activity through a whole new lens. Here's a little preview pulled straight from the episode that you will hear next week. We've made it to 3. Yeah, well, magic number.
Yeah, we don't know that anybody's watching the 3rd episode, but like I said, if you came for the train wreck or you came for the information, we don't care.
We're here either way. That's right. So welcome. We have something really cool planned for this episode. It's called Do You Hear What I Hear? And as Scott promised previously, you're going to be a certified adjudicator.
Certified may be a bit of a stretch.
You said it multiple times.
Okay, we're going to put a certificate. You're right. We're going to put a certificate link in the notes where people can get their certificate and they can frame it and lord it over their band director and their child.
So I will tell you that that's actually a good point that he didn't necessarily mean to make, which is if you go to banddadspodcast.com, look for the episode 3, Do You Hear What I Hear? There's going to be some stuff in the notes there that will be important.
Very important.
To participate. And that's really what we want you to be able to do with this is not just listen to us. Again, if you just want to listen to us, that's fine. But there's going to be more to this one. We're going to have some depth available for you. And it's going to include visual aids. It's going to include some links to some fun stuff. So you definitely want to be able to get to our website, thebanddadspodcast.com, get to the episode 3 description and look for some links in there because certainly that will make this a lot more interactive and fun. You do that. So.
Yeah, and we hope that you'll join along in getting trained and getting certified and doing some analysis that even though you can't see the video, but we'll have the link there, that you're thinking and listening along. Because what we're going to do right now is we're going to train each and every one of you to be an evaluator of marching bands. Are you ready, Chris?
I am. So do you hear what I hear? Is this evolved Little Drummer Boy? Like, what are we using as our source for? Do you hear what I hear?
I'll show you in just a second. But this all started when,
music, which I can tell you is very common for other band parents.
Okay,
as well.
So let me ask you a question. Remind everyone what you do for a living.
I'm a data analyst.
Okay. Applying those same sets of skills of being data-driven and analytical.
Okay.
Can you put a construct or a framework around your number?
Not necessarily. It's a lot of a feeling.
Okay, good. So that's totally okay.
Okay.
I love that you said that, by the way. Because the thing is, most people believe that's what adjudication is a feeling.
Yes, because that's how we see it.
That's right.
Yes.
And what we're going to do is we're going to demystify that and teach everyone who's listening the construct and the framework that we use when we adjudicate bands. And I think you're going to find out that you as a data analyst might be better suited to be an adjudicator than me because you will apply objective data analysis to what you see versus emotion. Because That's not what adjudication is. It's more analytical than people think it is. So
Gotcha.
are you ready to become a certified adjudicator?
So you're going to remove.
Just one thing and assess just one thing. Fair point?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to give you one last tool
Okay.
to be super successful.
Oh.
It's called Box 5. Have you ever heard of Box 5?
I actually have heard of Box 5. Yes.
Yeah. Tell me what you know about Box 5.
Box 5 is a streaming service. It's a website that streams marching band.
Wrong answer.
Oh. That's what I thought it was. My bad.
Actually, they are, but they stole the name from marching band adjudication. There are 5 boxes in marching band adjudication.
I see.
And they go like this. Rarely is box 1, 0 to 10%.
Okay.
Infrequently, 11 to 30. Sometimes 31 to 70%. Usually 71 to 90%.
Okay.
Always 91 to 100%. Makes sense now.
Yes.
Okay. So, Chris, I'm going to play this again.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the question you're asking yourself, what you pick, you want to do music effect, music performance, GE, you want to do visual effect, visual performance, or GE?
So that's all we'll be giving you for now. We hope you are intrigued. The episode will launch on all platforms Monday, March 3rd. Until then, find us on our website at banddadspodcast.com. Reach us by email at feedback@banddadspodcast.com. If you haven't yet, you can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We actually do put our full video episodes up on our YouTube channel, so if for some reason you feel like you ever want to see a visual of 2 band dads yapping at each other rather than just listen to it, it's up there as well. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you next week. To stay up to date with the Band Dads podcast, visit our website, banddadspodcast.com. Want to communicate with the Band Dads? Send an email to feedback@banddadspodcast.com. The Band Dads podcast is a 5 Deuce Media production. For more information, visit 5deucemedia.com. That's numeral 5deucemedia.com. For more information on Scott Lang leadership and solutions for music education, visit scottlang.net.